LARP is live action role playing, which is a kind of a combination of sport and drama. It's done all over the world, and people generally have different themes for it. The type that I run is particularly a fantasy style with like swords and spells, but you can do LARP of any type. The type that I play is one that I developed myself, has my own game system and my own rule system, and it mostly focuses around taking on a character that you want to play in the story, and then having to navigate certain situations that you run into. Some of them involve fighting, with safe padded props that we use so nobody gets hurt. And some of them involve negotiation, and some of them involve a philosophy. And you have to navigate those situations and act them out in a real-time situation with other players who are also playing their characters and playing different roles that they're playing. So it's a little bit like a play, but a play if you didn't have a script, if you had to improvise the script, and there might be fight scenes that erupt in the middle of it, and everybody knows that that could happen.
The world of Roacron, which is we say it's the world, but it's actually the main continent that we play in, is comprised of 15 or so different countries in the game. And they're each based off of different real life places. Not exactly, but an overall idea of it. And in the world there is a mix of real life fantasy, medieval fantasy, there's all sorts of religions in the game, whether they're real world religions or in-game made up ones. And there are all sorts of creatures in the world, whether they are genetically modified, sort of like magical mutants, or if they're like mystical dragons and elves, or just your, run-of-the-mill humans and dwarves and hobbits.
So this is LARP, live action role-playing. And beneath the joyful play acting and the athletic workout of the game, a lesson in social politics is unfolding. See, players are grappling with problems of racism in their culture, of bias, of inaccurate source information, and a host of other principles, all in this single encounter. And the kids, it's just another day in the park, and they act and battle and leap and laugh and sing their way through these epic physical combats and intricate logic puzzles that challenge them to interact face-to-face and person-to-person in a world that is quickly becoming dominated by online platforms.
LARP has affected me mainly in ways that build me as a person, ways that have helped me learn how to deal with major changes and issues in my life, or understanding of social interactions, way to deal with certain things.
A lot of them often approach life thinking about what their actions are going to be like when they, decide to do something, and if it's going to be good or not good, and also to critically look at everything that they're told when it comes to newspaper articles or things they see online. And they're more critical of everything that they encounter, because they're used to being in situations where, the ogres are not necessarily evil, and they have to know to look for that. Because although LARP might seem like a violent thing, because you're fighting and you're using swords and weapons, it actually is, in a lot of ways, it's the opposite of a violent activity. It tends to be something that really makes you reflect on violence and makes you have to consider what violence, really means, and allows you to express a kind of make-believe violence in a safe way that allows it to kind of move through you and then let go of it. Whereas without that sort of release or the ability to express it, that kind of violent tendencies can build up into where someone actually is violent or really aggressive. And so I really think it's really useful for kids to feel like this is the place where you can hit with swords and tag and express this kind of violence, and it's okay. And then that way they don't do it in their real life.
LARP has so much area and so many things you can do, and such a wide variety of ways you can approach it, that if you just want to go in a little bit, dip your toe in, if you want to, wade in, if you want to jump in, LARP is super accepting of all of that.
Don't be too sure of what it's going to be like. It might be very different than you expect it's going to be, and that could be really good, or it might not be.
I've seen people who have no interest in fantasy hop into LARP and have a ton of fun. So I would say definitely try it if you want to.